Hello everyone and welcome to MajorDom's 15th DePIN workshop. Today we want to talk about how we can use an LLM to generate some insights about the Moonchain uh, blockchain and how we can use these insights directly in an automated reporter which posts these information on Twitter or Telegram. In the project today we will specifically use Twitter. And here you can see some diagram of the pipeline approach which we take today. For this, we will use Python. Um, the first step will be to get the data from the Moonchain blockchain. For this, we will use an API from which we can call different statistic states. The next step would be to send these data to an retrieval augmented generation server. In this case, this will be RagFlow. RagFlow is a service which vectorizes the data you provide for them and also allows to create an own chat model which uses these vectorized data. Um, and yeah, this we will use to vectorize our Moonchain data and get some insights from an LLM. RagFlow directly sends these information further to the chosen LLM, and we then get our report as an answer. And in the next step, the third one, we then would be able to post these report on Twitter or on Telegram. Just decide what you want to do. In my case, like I said, I use Twitter. For this, we also would have to need to cut the report in some specific parts, which are not longer than 280 signs, because the current tweet length allows only 280 signs without the payment subscription model. And yeah, um, you can find more information and yeah, kind of a tutorial for this project in the Moonchain repository. No, sorry, not in the Moonchain repository, in the Moonchain docs. Besides this, you can also find the whole project, uh, which I'm going to show you today in the MajorDom DePIN GitHub, specifically the Moonchain RagFlow Twitter repository. Both of these sites are linked in the description down under the video. Yeah, and with this said, I would say we begin with the first step, which would be necessary to do a clean development process. We will create a virtual environment for Python. This makes it possible that our dependencies are only in this working only in this virtual environment. So when you're working on different projects and the one project needs this version of the dependency, another project needs another version of the dependency, um, it's there fast can this fast can create problems. And for this, we take the approach to create, and for every project, we create a specific virtual environment. We do this by the command I showed you. Um, yeah, Python 3, then M. I'm not sure about what the mflex says, sadly. The first benth would say that we want to create a benth, and the second specifies the path in which we want to create the benth, and here we can see it's directly the root folder. And yeah, with this done, we are now able to create our first, no, not in this folder. We are able to create our first script, our first coding sequence. I would call this script data collector multiply. For this, we of course need some imports. Import OS. import requests. This would need our first import. Okay. I didn't activated the bench. Source bench being activated. Now we are working with our virtual environment, and now it shouldn't be any problem to insert requests because pip is already provided in the virtual environment. What I don't understand right now, I just installed it and it doesn't change anything. Requests, it's inside. This I really don't. Okay. I would expect we don't use the right environment. Yeah, we don't use the right environment. So we have still been on the global Python environment. And because of this, when we installed the dependency requests, it didn't change anything in the developing file because, like I said, the compiling Python engine, which was referenced with this file, didn't have requests. Like I said, it was the global one, and in this we don't install requests yet. Like I said, because we're working mainly with other virtual environments. The time import time data. This we will need to get the specific date of yesterday and the day prior yesterday. This variable we will use to allow log messages. The next variable will be our base URL when it comes to calling the Moonchain API, the stats API, moonchain.com slash API slash v1. And now we can already write the first function. It's just an easy one, just for giving out our log messages. For this, we will work with an f string because, of course, we want to create a string with a variable, which would be a message. And if you want to add a string with a variable, you have to choose f strings. And here we get to the next function. For this, we provide the target directory as a parameter. I'm not sure why it's kind of red. If not, rest path dot exists target. So with this, we check if the output directory in the root directory is already created, and if this is not the case, we will create it with this function. With this, we get our dates, the date of yesterday and prior yesterday, like I already said, because this is the data um, which we will call to create our report. Of course, it doesn't make really sense to call data from the current day because the current day is not done yet. And it could be that after we done the report for today, um, important parts of the metrics would change after this, after we did the report. Yeah, I forgot daytime. It's importing of daytime. 7 minutes. GM. Yes. And with this done, we are now able to create the function we just called, which would be generate a report. For sure, for this we have to provide the target year as well as the target date. You've already seen this. Please don't wonder about the strange syntax I just used here in the parameter. This is just a coding, a code reference on how we can set up the date we want to use. Mm, That's not the one I used yesterday. Yeah, here we can see it. So for one example, we used large W. So in this case, it would take the week number. No, we did large Y. Sorry, not W. Just wondered when I said it loud that didn't use W large yet. I can't find Y in this. Here. So this would be the full year, I expect. Yeah. And if you are interested, are more interested in this specific part, you can find it just by googling. So we are now create our first log print. Once again, as an f string. So we take the current date for this, not yesterday or something else. And with this, we would be able to create our file name. For sure, if you want to write something into a file, at first you need to create this file. Here you can see what I was referencing to when it comes to using the f string to be able to add a variable into a string and yeah, combine them together to print the normal string and to add a variable into this. Yeah, to be able to not only hard code the string but to um, create a modular string in this case, which can show different dates. Yeah. Okay, no, but I forget something. CSV, sure, we need the data format. If or else the path exists, file name, then we remove it. Once more log print. Now open our folder, our file, sorry. We'll open it to write in it. We open it as a CSV file. Oh, no, as a CSV file out file CSV writer. Here, this USB.writer, we need to provide the output file, which we linked with CSV file. The limiter in this case will be the tabulator. For this, we use this code. And we start creating the file with providing our keywords for the specific data fields which we want to use. Type, date, item, and value. All these fields which we will use. And next we will recognize data. We'll use this target date counts So with this, we are calling the information from the API and write it into our CSV file. I would just copy the next lines because they are just nearly the same and only differentiate in the values which get called or which get written into the CSV file additionally to the called data or to explain the call data. Yes, our next function will be just a helping function. With this, we check if something is an array. This we do by checking if the object has the attribute length. And if that's the case, we will return false. And otherwise, we will return true. Like I said, it's just an easy helping function. So we should write it like it's intended. And now we will focus on the getLines data. For this, we have to provide the void file, the parameter, the target date, AID, a title, and a unit. Once again, use this nice date format. Where then we will create our URL from linking the base URL with the other necessary parts for calling the data. Sorry. Steps base URL first. Lines. Here once again we see the fully how the fully function which is provided when we use an f-string. So this will be our URL. The first part for sure, stats.moonchain.com/API/v1. Then, yeah, this will be the URL. Then the next step will be /lines, AID, will be active accounts in this case. Yeah. After the AID, we write this words. And this is an additional what's the vocabulary? I'm not sure about the vocabulary. It's like when you would say something is 10 degrees or 10 kilometers, then it's referencing to the degree or to the kilometers. I hope you understood what I want to explain in this case. Okay, once more we use a log print. Of course, once again with an F string. This just helps us to verify that our script is doing what it should do, because these log prints are printed out of the repository, out of the um, terminal. I would expect if you use log print, you would also be able to create a log file in which all of them will be written. But in this case, we don't use this opportunity or this possibility. Here we check now if the connection could be initiated. This would be called, we check by the status code 200. Status code 200 every time says that the requested site could be loaded properly. We from the response we load the content of the response into JResponse, and then we will print this with the JSON-dumps function. No, nicht JSON. JSON-dumps, nicht JSON-dump. I'm not sure if it's dump or dumps. We will see it. I think it's dumps. Dump. Response. Perfect. Now we check the data which we loaded into the JSON. So if the keyword chart cannot be found in the description, not in the description, the JResponse, yeah, in the answer we got from the Moonchain API, then we got an invalid response. Yes, here we use our help function to check if, in the case the chart is there, we also check if the chart is an array, which would be necessary to not only get one value, but all the values we're calling for. Right. And also we check if the data of JResponse and charts keyword is 0, because if this is the case, we also won't get any data. And in the case we get some data, we iterate through our array. Once again, check if the data is in the form that we expected. This we will do a second time, but not for date, but for value. So, and now we can convert the date which we read in from the response in the data format we prefer. Once again, epsilon minus percentage m minus percentage small d contrast t RDF time percentage d minus percentage large p minus percentage large y. We get to the string value. This, of course, we have to read in from a value key. And with this, we will add the MXC bytes, MXC equal, which I told you about here in the getlines function, or in the getlines we will use. String value, unit, uint just is integrated some slowly into how I use these letters. Can remember in the workshops where I was writing Solidity, I had issues to write the uint, and now when I want to write unit instead of uint, I just write a uint. Moonchain, daily report, diagonal, date, title, string value. Nice. And with this done, we are now able to test our first script, or to finalize it, I would say, to be able to test it. I hope I don't have that much typos, which will take some time to find them, especially if Python don't recognize it as typos. So, and with this done, we should be able to run our first script. Please don't wonder when it comes to, okay, currently we don't need key. Um, in the next script, I will reference to the env file, .env file. Please don't wonder, I don't open this in terms of the workshop. I just use it in this way to be able to call the API keys without showing them while the workshop is ongoing, um, just for description. So here we can see now that the script is working like it is intended. We are now calling the data from the Moonchain blockchain from the 9th and 10th of October. And here you can see in which data format we provided these data. So at first we have the type field for, okay, it's the Moonchain report. Then we have the date. We have an item for the specific data item. And after this, we have the value. Like I said, in terms, we use MXC or Gray or something like this, or bytes. This will get linked to the specific value, which we showed you here. Oh no, not here. I'm sorry. Here. Yeah, for sure. And with this done, we can now go over to writing our next script. For this, we are going to open our next file. This will be the LLM center file. And /py. For sure, we also need our imports there. Import requests, import OS. The import OS is necessary for making calls to the underlying OS, like creating a folder or something like this. Already seen this in the previous script. Import CSV from date time, import date time, import strip markdown. This we also will have to install. So here's the strip markdown and .env. Okay, I have to check out how I can get the repository. Python.env. Yeah, I was thinking it wasn't complete. This is better. Just start with loading our .env, and then we go over to creating our base URL for the RagFlow API. /read1/API slash user ID. This is not necessary to call it Python client user. This name is totally choosable on your side. It's only a reference for the chat to be able to understand which message comes from the LLM and which message comes from us as a user. Now take our API key out of our environment file, whichever way set we are using. The next step would be to combine both of our output files. So the one for the report on which was made on the 9th, no, the statistic data which is referencing to the 9th of October, as well as the report data which is referencing to the 10th of October. We add this both data into one file to provide all of this information in just one file. So we will use an array in which we will load our combined data. And for sure, we also will need a header to provide a description of what the specific data fields are referencing to. This will be these 4 keywords, but in case that we add or combine both folders or both files, it would be the case that we would have these keywords twice. And for this, we're working with the Boolean, which makes it possible that as soon that something is written in the header, we won't call the header once again. We won't write the header once again in the file. So for this, I initiated the header as an empty variable. So we are now iterating through the files in the output folder. And in case our file ends with .csv, we will open it. In this case, the readable file, not as a writable. We will take the tabulator as delimiter in this case also. And here is our header check I was talking about. So in the case the header is not set yet, we will take the first line as a header and append it on the combined file. In case the header is already taken, we just go over to the next line. Sorry, I forgot something I've seen. So with this, we are creating the file path specifically. For this, we will use os.path.join, which looks into if there's already slash inside of the URL or in the file name. So it helps us to not duplicate the slash sign. Right, and now we're just reading in the lines as long as there are lines, and append every row in our combined file. Join directory output file. In this case, we open it as a light file, so we can save our combined CSV file. CSV item, CSV item, CSV file. Limiting once more. Tabulator. I just want to look shortly into, come on, that's everything in English. Because I just found out that the last print statement in my pre-written folder or in my pre-written file, which I use to don't have to figure out how to solve the problem or how to create the code, as well as focusing on creating the workshop. So I had pre-written the files and writing them down from this. And in this case, I used the pre-written file from the German workshop. So I didn't was fully sure if I used some print statements in the first script, which still German. So I just wanted to verify this. So for sure, we now have to create our send file function in case if we are already referencing to it. Which new percentage week percentage day. Now we will create our prompt. Once more, we will use the f string for this to integrate our today's date in this pre-written sentence. Don't wonder why I'm telling it that it only should write the report with a maximum length up to 800 signs. Because when I didn't use this additional information, I had the issue. I had sometimes the issue, not every time, that the model sometimes created additional data on the end of the report. So if the report only would be 500 signs, for example, and the whole answer but would be 800 signs, the LLM would decide that the last 300 words it only fills with trash data. So like lorem ipsum style. Um, or if the report would be longer than or if the LLM would decide the report should be longer than these 800 signs, then it would be that it would stop in the middle of the report and just would add etc for etc. So I hope I will be able to show you that it's working with this configuration, but like I said, sadly, the prompt without the limitation worked in like 9 of 10 cases. So I also am not 100% sure that this prompt will work directly in the first approach, but I think it will work. I improved it a little bit in the last workshop because there I also had the issue that I tested it before. I was filming the workshop and it was working fine. And as soon as I tried it in terms of the workshop, I had the issue where it filled the end of the data, like it said, with trash data. And yeah, so I had to rewrite the prompt, or to, yeah, not only to rewrite the prompt, but only also to refilm the part of the workshop, because like I said, in 9 of 10 cases it worked. So I expected it to work in the workshop also, because the 9 cases I tested before the workshop worked fine, and only the 10 case while I was doing the workshop showed that it's not working all the time. So CSV file delimiter. Sure, so we use the tabulator in this case. Item. Date. Item. So what's the issue currently? Row 8. Ah, okay, I see it. No, it should be happening all the time. Info and my empty space. We create the the URL on which we will send our question with our Moonchain data. The next step will be our headers, in which we provide our API key for authorization. Generate API token. So we will use these raise for status. We will use in case our response don't work, then we will get an exception. We take the JSON. We take the JSON object from the response and write it into the response data. So with this, we're extracting the the answer data as well as the next line or conversation ID. Put it in conversation ID. Here we are currently creating the whole data we send to RagFlow. this stream variable we are using. So the LLM only answers as soon in case the response is or its answer is fully loaded and fully created. In the other case, it would send us every token. So as soon as a token is created by the LLM, we will get only the token, which is not the case we want, how we want it. Completion, meine Güte. I hope you can't hear it in the recording, but the child in my neighborhood seems to be a little bit um, unhappy, I would say. So it's a little bit hard to focus right now. So with this, we're once again taking the JSON object out of the response and store it in the response data. And in case the red code, which is the information or the identifier of the LLM, in which it shows how it processed our request, is 0. Then it worked like it should was intended to process our data, and because of this, we can go on with using the response data. Sandy print. Create a new output file, in this case, or JSON file. I open it with writing permissions. Now here we are working with dump and not with dumps. I'm still not fully sure what's the difference between them. So I have to figure this out indeed. I really would need to focus on one specific language and master it until I switch between 5 languages or something like this. I'm not sure how I should be able to master one language then. And even don't mix the rules from one language with the other. Hmm. I think I did a mistake here. Yes. Like I said, it's not that easy for me to concentrate as soon as I hear crying babies around me, which was the case just 5 minutes ago with my neighborhood child, or with my neighbor's child. So it's more right, I think. Else, print. Oh, it's right again. With this done, we only need our main for the script. So we will be able to test it. And with this done, we don't have any error. I hope this also is the case when running the script. Nope. Failure to create a new conversation for output. Combined CSV. So guys, I was now able to figure out where the issues happened in writing the script. One issue was here in line 61, where I forgot to, I don't know why, but I forgot to write down this line, which appends our knowledge data, or the data which we already called from Moonchain data, onto our prompt. So the LLM not only gets the prompt or the question, but also the data from which it should get its information, or from what it's the information which it should use to answer our question. The next typo which happened was here in line 69, where I wrote authorization instead of authorization. And the last typo which happened was here in line 81 in our post data, where I didn't wrote messages, but message instead. And with this done, I hope that I can now show you that the prompt I provided here is working like it should. Sadly, I made the experience that in, like, I would say, one or two of 10 cases, it don't work like it should work, and I'm not sure why. When I've done the workshop on the German, when I did the German workshop, I took one prompt and it worked prior the recording, but as soon as I was recording, the prompt didn't work anymore. So there I had to recreate parts of the video to show how it should work. But now I also think, what does it help when I'm showing you that in the video it works, and you use the same prompt, and with the same prompt you get a totally different response. So because of this, I wanted to talk about this and explain it, that also on my end, it's kind of random in how the LLM behaves. Currently, I'm still trying to figure out how I can solve this issue, and how I can create a prompt which gives me 100 times the output which I want, and not only like 70 times, 80 times, or whatever. With this said, I would now like to try and run our LLM data set. Oh no, this was not intended. So here we then send the question. Additionally, here we have the knowledge, no, not the knowledge data, the daily data, sorry. When it comes to knowledge data, I would go into the RagFlow user interface soon, but at first I want to run this comment properly to see if the response is like I wanted it to be or not. In this case, oh, what a wonder, the response was like it should be, and this worked good in this case. But like I said, this is totally random, sadly. And yeah, with this set, I would go into our RagFlow user interface. For this, inside of in the repository, which is in the description of this video, you can find an additional text file which is named abort.txt, which gives the LLM a kind of knowledge base. So it gives the first direction about the topic on which the LLM should focus on. And this is our knowledge base, which we provided here into the knowledge base. And with this done and uploaded and everything, we can now look into our chat. Here it's necessary to create a new assistant for getting an API key. The API key you can find here under chatbot API, and then you click on API key. But that's not what I want to show you currently. you would go here on edit. The knowledge base you could choose here, or you need to choose here. And you also would be able to provide here some additional information for the prompt, as well as you can create, you can set the max tokens you want to use, as well as some different LLM settings like temperature or top P you can find here. And you also would be able to choose between some specific models. Currently, they only allow DeepSeek Chat or DeepSeek Coder. We use Chat for this. And yeah, this I wanted to show you shortly until or before we go over to creating our last script, which is the Twitter poster. So we start with our get environment. Here we take our API keys out of the .env file. Install GP, and this is the library we also would need additionally. Please don't wonder that I decide to just copy and paste the next 3 lines, which are also referring to the needed keys, which when we want to post on Twitter, we would need to get. For this, you can go with your own Twitter profile onto developers.x.com, and there you can create a new application when you go onto the developers portal. Here we already can see my project, as well as the app on which I use the app I created inside of the project. And we also can generate some API secrets or API keys. This I already done, and I already referencing to the keys via using the getEnv method. Yes, and with this set, I would like to go over to the next function. With this function, we read the information out of the response JSON. Now, not bypass, rated exception, no found exception. Found exception. Launch. We open it once again as a reading, a readable file, UTF 8 as JSON file. Should you? Okay. With this, we are reading out the answer from the JSON object. Read this into response, and then we clean response with trip. Then we're checking if our message is longer than 280 signs. So we will split our message in separate lines and save them in message lines. Then we iterate through this. Yes, our line is dash dash dash. We jump over this line. And in case of the length of the line is longer than max length, in this case 280 signs, we would have to split this line. And this we would do in case there is a space. And then we do the same, we will adjust it with the lines, with the words. So we check if the length of the post content added with the next word as well as space is longer or bigger than the max length. And if this is the case, we don't would add our word on post content, but we would add it on post list. We don't add the word onto post list, but the post content and the word would go into post content once again, and then we would once more start to create post content until it reaches the 280 signs, and then we would add it into post list once again. Post content word. Word. Here's something not like it should be. Still not like it should be. think what if... Oh, I just forgot something, I see. If I goes on length, yeah, yeah, post, content, post list depend, right, here, 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 here. So now it's right again. Content, let's, change. Then max length. This is necessary. If there's still content, then we post. If there's still content in case the last line was posted, then we post this also. No, in case that our line is not um, longer than the max length, and we post. No, then yeah, I'm not sure. Uh, I really don't like it to switch between so much languages. If our message length is one, then we just create a simple tweet. If it's longer than one message, Now, if this is known, create dot API dot create trade. Just a message. Print with this we save the ID for being able to post in a thread. It would trigger the so let's trigger the frame. So we once again have to activate this the first tweet ID. Also, slash so secret gleich okay secret access token access token secret gleich access token secret. So with this, we go send to Twitter by providing the API object which is a client object with our API keys and our secrets, as well as the token list. The send to Twitter we already written here. And yeah, with this done, we now just need some cosmetical parts like the exceptions. Found error C E. So we now should be able to run the Twitter poster also, in case we don't have any unnecessary typos in it, which I don't know yet. For sure we have some typos. Loads. JSON loads. 21. Oh yeah, JSON load with the open JSON load, JSON file. Not as local variable tweet, where it's not associated with a value. I think I should found the typo. In this case, it shouldn't be a dot, but yeah, equal sign. And with this, we are now able to post the report which we just created onto our Twitter account. Here you can see the first tweets which are appearing. So in this case, we just leave it run further, and we then focus onto our last script, which is the main.py, which we then want to use to not only run all of the scripts for themselves, but to be able to run them as a pipeline. So we will write a main function which calls all of our scripts, or which calls all of the functions which we want to use in our scripts. Collect data. So with this done, I would like to delete all of the previous created files in the output folder, as well as the tweets which just have been made on my dummy page. Because it could happen that the beginning of the new reporting tweets are similar to the one just made. And when this happens, the Twitter API doesn't allow the posting because it says, oh no, you are posting duplicates. I don't allow duplication posting. So for this, I just want to clear this fully out. It should be the last, which I had to delete now. Yes. So with this done, we are now able to clear our terminal and to run our main script. No. No, we cannot run our main script. Like I said, switching between programming languages is not the best idea. I really would recommend everyone to just start mastering one language, and as soon as you feel safe with one language, look into the others. I started learning Java until I was able to code object oriented, and then I wrote my thesis paper in Python because it was the company. Yeah, the company wanted it that I write the scraper in or the project in Python. It was an LLM based web scraper for a grant application platform. For sure, there is a mistake with Twitter. Okay, I've seen what's the issue. For sure, we would need our path provided. As well as here as a parameter. Sure. With this done, we now should be able to run the whole script in one term or in one run. I'm not sure if the LLM output would be like we want it to be, but I won't focus on this now because I already showed you that when we ran it manually, the second script, that it would be able to create the data which we wanted. But I'm not sure how to solve this. Maybe currently it would be an idea to just resend the answer to an LLM once more with the data and say everything which is not referring to the data, just delete out of the answer. I'm not sure because yeah, you just can see it here once more. For my opinion, this is yeah, trash data once more here. This is not the art of form we wanted our report. So it just starts to create trash once again on process must actors can voice their opinions regarding proposed changes before they are enacted into law. Upon approval thereof, by a consensus reached among all them. Yeah, here it begins to get trashy. Mm, I want to change one thing on the. Maybe this prompt is now better. Uh, we'll run the whole script once more, only once, and then if it don't work like it's intended, I sadly have to stop the workshop for today, and I will focus in the next week on this topic once more. I also have another colleague working on this and looking into this who has a little bit more experience when it comes to coding and LLMs as a whole. Um, he also set up our Moonchain reporter, which reports on MajorDom Twitter. And when I look into these reports, they are pretty similar. So I'm not sure what's the issue because the prompt which I use currently was created out of the prompt he made or he used. Um, the reporter for this is not written in Python but in another language. But I was able to yeah use the prompt anyways and to change it a little bit so it fits better for my needs. I'm not sure why it does this now. Did main the wrong part post. This is the right one, and then we don't get this error once more. Maybe now also the report will be done like it should be. And with this, I can show you that it's variating a lot. I'm not sure how we would get the wanted response now. But what I know is that the Telegram part should be posting it now on the Telegram, on the Twitter uh, profile, anyways. Unnecessary if the report is exactly how we expected it, or if it's yeah, if the end is trash again. And this will be the last part in which on which I will try to run it additionally to already tested runs. And this time I will clear the Telegram, the Twitter profile of mine. And yeah, I will expect once more that I won't get the perfect output. Now, this is a report we can work with. It's pretty short, but it's the first time I'm happy with it. It's really the first time I'm not seeing anything which is a mistake just from the first look onto it. So we are now able to see the whole report which we posted here. These are these three yeah, posts. And I also want to show you on MajorDom how it would be done, or how it's be done currently with the Moonchain reporter. So we had here a whole thread on which where it's four posts, and additionally this part with the Moonchain daily report is appended. So when it comes to the user want to read more than only these two or three threads and want to read the whole report, you can click onto the Moonchain Daily link, and by this open the whole report. You can look into it for sure. So here we can see the last report, today's report, and for sure you can see that it's like it's intended to do to be. And I really don't know what's the issue, because like I said, I used the prompt which was provided by me by the colleague which who wrote this reporter, and he's also working on the issue which I was telling you about, and try to figure out why it's happening on my side. I hope I will be able to create another workshop where I can improve on this and teach you specifically how you can write a prompt and really just get this data or just get the response you want from the LLM. But until this, I sadly have to say goodbye, and I hope you could learn something on this anyways. I would love if you would leave some questions, or if you yeah, follow along for the further or for the future workshops which we will do weekly on the Moonchain uh, YouTube channel. And yeah, with this, I would say thank you, and we will see each other once more in the next week. Thank you, and have a nice weekend.